This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Scott Dennis is off this week. Our top story at noon, a car struck and killed a 15-year-old boy going to school. He attended Palmetto High School. It happened in Palmetto about 6:20 a.m. at US 41 and 23rd Street East. The Florida Highway Patrol says the boy was crossing the street when he was struck by a Lexus. Troopers say the driver was approaching a green light and didn't see the teen until it was too late. The accident closed the southbound lanes of US 41 for hours this morning. A bus driver saw everything and told us what the driver did after the boy was struck.
Stopped, got out, and went to aid the kid. He was trying to hurry and get back to see if it was anything that they could do to help.
The investigation is just beginning. We'll have more on this story today at 5 and 6. A former Sarasota County Sheriff deputy back in court this morning. Here's some new video of Frankie Bybee during a case management hearing. He is facing 20 charges for allegedly befriending a woman, then stealing her money and trying to kill her while making it look like a suicide. Bybee did not speak this morning. He also has a new lawyer and a new charge against him. No word what it is. Another hearing is scheduled for next month. Bybee has pleaded not guilty. We're learning more about the shooting death of a woman during a Citizens Police Academy in Punta Gorda last August. The city has released the results of an investigation from Florida's Department of Law Enforcement. It reveals several new details about how 73-year-old librarian Mary Knowlton was killed. The police officer Lee Cole shot and killed her during a role-playing scenario last summer. The report says he fired 4 bullets at her. One ricocheted off a parked car, then hit her in the stomach. She fell and struck her head on the pavement. A witness says she saw the whole thing last August.
My brain is saying she's going to get up and okay, maybe she just got hurt, but she'll be okay. You just never think it's going to end that way.
The report concludes that there was no evidence the officer intentionally shot Knowlton. It attributed the incident to his inability to differentiate between blank cartridges and real bullets. The police are now separating the two to prevent future tragedies. On a lighter note, here in Sarasota, expect to see more officers in Sarasota patrolling in golf carts. Yeah, the Downtown Improvement District gave police a $9,000 grant to buy the carts. They include seat belts and turn signals. They'll allow volunteer ambassadors for the police department to patrol neighborhoods like Gillespie Park, the Rosemary District, and Burns Court.
It's important for the community to see the volunteers out there. It's a visible vehicle. It allows them to get in and out quickly, maneuver small areas quickly. It allows them to go out, be a part of the community, support the police department by volunteering, answer questions for people in the community, and public outreach.
The volunteers say they hope to have the carts in St. Armand's Circle as well. Hopefully they don't have to park while they're out there in that. And a warm coat would be handy to be in those golf carts today, John Scalzi.
Oh, you know, that's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. We had a morning low of 39 degrees, which is well below our average for this time of year. And the daytime high is going to be about 10 degrees shy of our normal high as well. So, yeah, it's a cool one out there. I kind of like it. It's kind of refreshing as far as I'm concerned. But then that's me. You know, I have that little conversation with my wife all the time. Turn up the thermostat. Turn down the thermostat.
Yeah.
Turn up.
I like it warm. I know you don't.
I'm always warm. I'm always warm like a cool. So today's my day. If you're not one of those kind of people, if you like it a little bit warmer, tomorrow will be your day. We'll warm up very quickly after this little cold snap that we're having today. Taking a look at how we started off the morning, it was pretty out there. A lot of starry skies, and then the sun rose to really just that deep blue, beautiful, beautiful sky that we get in the winter. And you know what? We won't have much longer to see that kind of deep blue color in the sky. It's going to turn a little hazier with time here as we start to move into the spring season and we get a little bit more moisture in the upper atmosphere. Temperatures around the state are beginning to kind of adjust after a little daytime heating. It's wall-to-wall sunshine about everywhere you look, and temperatures across our region right now pretty solidly in the 50s. Daytime high will top out in the low 60s. Complete forecast about how warm it'll be tomorrow and just how cold it'll get tonight in just a few minutes.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. New at noon, Governor Rick Scott was in Sarasota this morning talking about the need to save the state's external marketing agencies. Local business and community leaders were invited to discuss the local impact of Visit Florida and Enterprise Florida. The governor is making a statewide push to keep the agencies, despite a push by some tax watchdogs to scale them back.
Enterprise Florida has to be funded. It has to be fully funded, and so does Visit Florida. If we don't, we're going to see fewer jobs.
The roundtable took place this morning on Whitfield Avenue. Also new at noon, the streets of Venice will be doubly festive this May. The Venice City Council has reportedly given the green light for the Venice Seafood Festival to be held in Centennial Park. That's the same weekend as the Farmers Market. Organizers think the festival will ruin the farmers' business. The city once discussed moving the market to another location, but that idea was turned down. And although the city unanimously approved the seafood event, they're reportedly taking their time on future special event requests. St. Patrick's Day is not until tomorrow, but tonight you can take part in the Shamrock 5K Fun Run. It's complete with 2 hydration stations featuring, water and green beer. The Fun Run will also feature a costume contest. $10 includes a Fun Run t-shirt. You can join the fun at 6 o'clock at the Fleet Feet Sports Store at Osprey near Mound this evening. Time for lunch. We have Executive Chef Jamil here from Michael's on East. And hi, Chef, what's on the menu today?
Today we're going to do a beautiful pan-seared rockfish with some barley risotto, some tasso, some corn, so stay tuned.
Very good. Talk to you soon.
When severe weather hit the Suncoast, ABC7 made sure you were prepared before the storm, as it made landfall, and in the aftermath. We were here for you, on air, online, and your mobile devices. The best Suncoast coverage. ABC7, we're here for you. ABC7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you, weeknights at 5.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Every now and then, factories authorize us to give deep discounts on furniture. And that time is now during the Flex Steel Factory Authorized Sale at Bacon's Furniture and Design. Shop the Flex Steel styles you love like Brandon, Dillon, Crosstown, Fleet Street Sectionals, and more. All at the guaranteed lowest authorized prices. Experience the beauty, the functionality, the quality for years to come with a lifetime warranty on Flex Steel's patented spring construction. The Flex Steel Factory Authorized Sale going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design.
Attention, this is an important message for anyone who has taken Xarelto or Pradaxa. If you or a loved one took the blood thinner medication Xarelto or Pradaxa and was then hospitalized for internal bleeding, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to serious, even fatal internal bleeding. If you suffered a stroke, heart attack, or serious internal bleeding, or if a loved one died after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call us now. Our network of attorneys have years of experience fighting the big pharmaceutical companies and is ready to fight for you. Potential claims are being reviewed for users of Xarelto or Pradaxa who have suffered severe bleeding or hemorrhaging, stroke, or even death. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You won't pay a thing unless your case is settled. Call today for a free confidential consultation. Don't fight this alone.
Please call 800-928-6604. That is 800-928-6604.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPV.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, we're warming up a little bit. We're at 54 degrees right now after a morning low of 39, so that's pretty nice. One of the reasons for that, of course, besides from the fact that we have plenty of sunshine out there, is the fact that the morning winds were a little bit lighter. We're going to have an hour or two, maybe more, of some elevated wind speeds right now. They're north-northeast at about 10 before we kind of settle into a little bit of a lull before they maybe pick up a little bit again during a late afternoon surge. Dew point. Wow. Doesn't get any colder than that. Dew point at 17 degrees. That is bone dry air. Bone dry air. Over the next several days, we'll start to warm that dew point value. And as we warm that dew point value, we'll start to bring up our nighttime lows as well. 54 degrees in Parrish, Mayaket, 54 in Bradenton. 55 Northport, 54 in Inglewood, 53 Longboat Key. By the way, Becky in Old Mayaca, one of my longtime weather watchers. Over 20 years she's been a weather watcher with us here at ABC7. Phoned in this morning with a 34-degree morning low in Old Mayaca. How about that? Pretty close to freezing. So wind speeds also coming in kind of brisk, as I mentioned, right now, coming in at about 10 to 15, depending on where you live. And that kind of adds a little bit of an edge to the air as well. But as I mentioned, those wind speeds will be coming down this afternoon a little bit, making it feel a bit more comfortable. Big ridge of high pressure, providing lots of sunshine for the state of Florida, for the deep south. Now, we do have an area of low pressure that is developing back to the north. This little area of low pressure right here will develop and move along the northern tier states. And while it won't produce the kind of outlandishly heavy snowfall that we saw with the last storm that moved through the northeast and in places produced 40 inches of snow, it will give another quick blast of snowfall to parts of the Ohio Valley and upstate New York and the western Great Lakes. That will have not much effect on us, however. That'll occur this weekend, and I think actually in a funny kind of way, it will actually help to warm us. I'll tell you why in a second. A lot of dry area in place over the state of Florida, indicated by these kind of tan contours, bringing us all the sunshine and very beautiful nighttime skies. High pressure ridge, in response to this moving low, will get nudged eastward out into the Atlantic. And as that happens, we start to see our wind shift a little bit more to the east. That's a warming wind for us. It'll bring back the moisture, keeping our nighttime lows a little higher. It will also allow for our atmosphere to become a little bit more moist, which will allow the air to retain the heat a little bit better. And so consequently, our daytime highs will start to rise. And I think we're going to be looking at a very, very nice weekend. Not quite so bone dry, but comfortably moist. And daytime highs, not too warm, not too cold. Winds will settle down a little bit. Everything will be really nice this weekend. Cool afternoon, not as cold tonight. No freeze or anything like that tonight. We didn't have one this morning. Aren't going to have one tonight either. Weekend warming is a certainty. It's going to be nice. Rainfall futurecast shows everything kind of dry for the next probably 7 days, to tell you the truth. This goes out a couple days, and you can see a few scattered showers maybe over on the other coast as those winds shift eastward, as I mentioned, in response to that high pressure shifting out into the Atlantic. But we don't want to see anything around here except for maybe a few extra clouds as we head into the weekend. So the forecast looks great. St. Patty's Day will feature a high of about 73, kind of average. Nighttime lows will be a little bit warmer. Over the weekend, we start to continue to warm till we get up to about 78 on Monday. First day of spring, Ray.
Thank you, John. Weather tops our health news today. It turns out the changes in our climate might be making us sick. According to a report by the Medical Society Consortium on Climate and Health, air pollution, violent weather, and climate change are affecting our health. Some examples include injuries and deaths due to hot weather and wildfires, and longer allergy seasons as well. Then there's a spread of diseases like Lyme and Zika virus and burning of fossil fuels. According to the World Health Organization, climate change will be responsible for 240,000 deaths per year by the year 2030. A medical breakthrough in the UK. British scientists have received their first license to create babies using DNA from 3 people. Back in December, officials approved the cautious use of the techniques, which are meant to prevent women from passing on fatal genetic diseases to their children. American doctors created the world's first baby last year in Mexico with this procedure, but the method has not been approved yet within this country. Another unique medical story here. A man in Michigan almost died from strep throat after it spread to his stomach. 44-year-old Kevin Breen is undergoing amputation surgeries for his hands and feet. The problem began on Christmas when he felt pain in his stomach. Doctors later found it was strep that had traveled from his throat and causing his organs to fail. And the only way to save him is to amputate the limbs. But despite it all, Kevin and his family are keeping a positive attitude.
Life's going to forever be different, but different doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It's just going to be what we make it, and trying to figure this out and figure it out for our kids. And you know, Dad's going to have cool hands, Dad's going to have cool feet, and you know, you have to be positive.
Kevin is one of 2 men in the world who have had strep throat travel from his throat to stomach. His son also had strep and fought it off with no problem. A GoFundMe account has been set up to help reduce the hospital costs. With St. Patrick's Day tomorrow, how healthy is it to eat all the green food with colored dye? Well, some doctors say the research on colored food dyes is mixed when it comes to determining how much is too much. One thing is for sure, though, dyed foods are usually junk foods, which really aren't always good for you.
On St. Patrick's Day, if you have a treat that has some green food coloring in it, you're probably not going to experience any negative health effects, but keep it to a minimum. Really try and focus on those foods that are naturally bright in color so that you get some vitamins and minerals.
Nutritionists recommend if you really must eat some green food, well, try kale, broccoli, cucumbers, and green peppers. These foods are high in vitamins and minerals and generally low in calories. They don't sound like as much fun as those green cookies. Up next, Sarasota County is a very healthy place to be. It turns out for the 4th year in a row, the State Health Department has recognized Sarasota for dedication to fitness, community events like farmers markets, and providing thousands of acres for parks, nature trails, and bike paths. Sarasota County was one of 98 communities throughout the state to achieve this distinction this year. Great to hear. Okay, up next, a nice honor for a former Sarasota County Commissioner, and an update on March Madness and spring training baseball. Stay with us.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. ABC 7 News at 7 weeknights.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ Sports Utility for $249 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Main. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
Two Suncoast spring training teams went head-to-head yesterday. Sarasota's spring resident, the Orioles, took on Bradenton's spring resident, the Pirates, at Lecom Park in Bradenton. Orioles took an early lead with 1 run in the first inning, but the Pirates ended up coming back with 5 runs in the 5th. Final score, 6-5. Pirates win that one. Also yesterday, it was a tie between the Rays and Red Sox in Charlotte County. The game ended 3-3 in Port Charlotte. Just one game today. That's the Yankees at the Blue Jays in Dunedin. March Madness is now underway. The Northwestern Wildcats and Vanderbilt Commodores. This will be the Wildcats' first ever NCAA tournament. It's followed by the Wisconsin Badgers and Virginia Tech Hokies playing in Buffalo. And then it's an in-state battle between Florida State and Florida Gulf Coast. That game will be held in Orlando. It's an annual tradition here on the Suncoast for 30 years. The Mayor's Feed the Hungry program. We're joined today by the Executive Director, Scott Beeler. First off, Scott, thank you for joining us.
Thanks. Delighted to be here.
So this is not just a luncheon next Wednesday. This is a year-long drive, Mayor's Feed the Hungry. Tell us about that.
Well, the Mayor's Feed the Hungry has been helping feed the people in need in Sarasota and Manatee counties for 30 years now. And our main priority mission is to feed during the holiday season, but we do have events throughout the year. We're made up of about 30 different organizations that have food pantries throughout Manatee and Sarasota County, and there's always a need every week to feed those people.
Now, 30 years now, how has the demand changed since it first began 30 years ago?
Well, we're seeing more needs for families now. People that are finding difficult to make ends meet are trying to feed their families, and we're seeing more of that now in addition to just the people that are desperately in need.
You'd like to think an area like Sarasota, being known for being affluent, wouldn't have that high a demand, but not the case.
That's true. There's many families that are struggling to make ends meet here in Sarasota as well.
Tell us more about how the recipients themselves have changed over the years. Not what you might expect, perhaps. More families are involved.
Well, that's true. We're seeing a lot of families trying to feed their kids. As you probably know, approximately half of the children that attend schools in Sarasota County are on assisted food programs, and that's really kind of shocking. So we're trying to help out the families as well as those who are in desperate need. Plus, as you probably know, in Sarasota we have a lot of transients that come down during the holiday season that are looking for an extra handout.
How is your organization different from others that are trying to collect food for the hungry?
Well, we're actually made up of representatives from about 30 different organizations, and each of them have their own food pantries. So we don't actually have a building or an office. We meet in Sarasota City Hall, and we just organize events and activities. All the food and money we collect goes right out to those food pantries into the public's hands, free of charge.
So who qualifies? What is the threshold for qualifying to be a recipient of your supplies?
Well, anyone that's in need of food can go to any of our participating members, and they sign up there, and those members then take a look at who needs the food, and they decide. So what we do is organize the food, get it out to our participating food drives, and they then go directly to the public.
I think we've got some full screen boards to show now for the folks at home watching. The annual food drive is in November, of course, collecting food, and mayorsfeedthehungry.org. So, Scott, if people want to help out your organization, the first stop perhaps is your website?
That's right. They can go to mayorsfeedthehungry.org. We're having our big 30th year anniversary next Wednesday at the downtown location of the Harvest Church. We're doing a food drive for that. The public's welcome to come in from noon to 2, and if they'd like, they can bring some food to help us feed the hungry.
All right. Well, keep the good work going. 30 years now. A great anniversary for you, Scott. Thanks for your time today.
Great. Thanks. Glad to be here.
All right, thank you. Back to the news now. Some high honors for a former Sarasota County Commissioner. The League of Women Voters has named Shannon Staub as the 2017 Woman of the Year. Staub served as a county commissioner for 14 years. She'll be honored tonight at Madison's 41. Let's get back to the kitchen now, where John Scalzi has taken up residence with Chef Jamil from Michael's on East. Take it away, guys.
Indeed. Always a pleasure having Jamil in the kitchen because he cooks up wonderful food. And it's always kind of a twist and different, and it's something you're just not going to find anywhere else, and always wonderfully tasty. And today we're celebrating
Baltimore, Maryland. So we have a beautiful rockfish that is one of the menus they use a lot in Maryland. And if you can see it right here, it's a nice, beautiful
it's gorgeous.
Fish. It's very gorgeous.
It's a steak.
Yeah.
It's huge.
So what we're going to do here is going to put some salt and pepper. If you notice that I have the skin upside down in one and the other one, so you can see the difference in the fish. But when you start a fish like this, you want to be able to start in the skin, because if you want to keep the skin, you want to be able to get it nice and crispy. So we're going to start doing that right here.
Now that pan is smoking hot.
Smoking hot. And then right here, we're going to do a nice barley risotto. We got some New Orleans right here. Just a lot of the South people use tassel ham. So we're going to start getting some tassel ham in here. We're going to make a nice little, kind of like a sweet and salt risotto with some barley. So it's not the actual rice. It's just the preparation, how we make that. And then we got some caramelized onions, shallots right here. We're going to put a little bit of garlic. And we're going to mix that around.
Tasso ham. I should know, I guess, what tasso ham is, but I don't.
It's a spice. It's a New
like
Orleans.
a chorizo or something?
No, it's a ham. So it's a cured ham. It's a New Orleans. They use it a lot in New Orleans kitchen and throughout the South as well.
So it's smoke cured or salt cured?
It's a spice cured.
Spice cured.
So it's very cool. Okay. Now right here you can see the fish a little bit getting, shrinking a little bit. It's getting that nice skin, nice and crispy.
Nice, yeah.
See it right here, but you want to get the little crispy right there. And then we continued right here. So we got the garlic, we got the tasso. We're going to add some caramelized onions right here. I mean shallots, onions. Then we have roasted corn. We take the corn and we roast them very nicely. You can see how that looks very cool.
I love roasted corn.
And it gives you that nice smoky flavor, especially on that. So we're going to toss that a little bit.
I can tell already this is going to be delicious.
It's going to be good.
Just from the smells, you can tell this is going to be good.
But you can see how that, get the color. It's all about the color, basically. Right here, you can see right now the fish getting nice and brown.
Right.
And what I do with this, if you see right here how that nice is crispy right here, so we finish it in the oven. Okay. Now that the pan is nice and hot, you can sear the bottom. We have right here another one that we already cooked earlier.
So what are we talking, like a 325 oven, something like that?
We actually right now at 450 degrees.
Holy cow!
And then you're going to probably cook it for a 4 minute, but you see, once it finished searing, how beautiful that looks right here.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
And you can see the skin. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and continue with this. We add the barley. Now the idea of this is when you're cooking it, is that you want to crisp the barley a little bit. So when you add the ham bone broth, it doesn't get too open. So it gets crispy and it maintains in that crispiness off it, but it gets that risotto creamy out of it.
Gotcha.
Which is kind of, it's a cool combination. We're going to go ahead and add all of it here. We're going to cook it a little bit, get a little more caramelized onions.
And to finish it up, you're just going to add the broth to it?
The broth to it, and then that's where you go with the risotto. You start little by little. This is how you do a risotto when you start adding a little bit of the broth.
Well, in TV time, we'll have to pretend that we had another 10 minutes to make it. But
exactly.
As you got it going on, I want to show everybody the final product here. This is beautiful. That looks absolutely gorgeous. Looks like you've garnished it with
some pickled onions.
Pickled onions.
We get some nice onions and pickle on top, and that's the fun of it, when you put in something like that, is getting the onion and the juice to run through the fish.
Sounds like one of those things where you have to have the perfect bite, a little of everything, right? Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. Chef, thanks so very much for coming in. Always do appreciate it. Michael's on Nice. This is for the entire month.
Yep.
Great. So go on, check it in celebration of our Baltimore Orioles, and just in favor, just because of those beautiful waters up there on Chesapeake Bay.
Exactly.
We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean, really moves me.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style,
Let the art of fiat move you.
You know, things can happen in an instant. We never expected Brady to be in an accident. And if he didn't have blood donors, he wouldn't be here.
To Suncoast blood donors and everybody in this community, I'd say thank you. You know, I'm gonna pay it forward.
Every now and then, factories authorize us to give deep discounts on furniture. And that time is now during the FlexSteel Factory Authorized Sale at Bacon's Furniture and Design. Shop the FlexSteel styles you love like Brandon, Dillon, Crosstown, Fleet Street Sectionals, and more. All at the guaranteed lowest authorized prices. Experience the beauty, the functionality, the quality for years to come with a lifetime warranty on FlexSteel's patented spring construction. The FlexSteel Factory Authorized Sale going on now only at Bacon's Furniture and Design.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
And welcome back. In the Bay Area, hope is fading to find two missing boaters. A 21-year-old student from Colorado State University and a man who tried to help him disappeared Tuesday. The two were on a charter cruise along the Pinellas Intercoastal when the student jumped in the water. The charter's first mate jumped in to help.
Even on your best day with calm conditions, one person's hard enough. You get multiple people, that's your head's spinning, you get props going. It's tough. The last thing I would have let anybody do is go in the water, and that's maybe even borderline a day that you should have maybe canceled.
Officers say the water was murky and the waves were extremely high. An update on a fatal boat crash that killed the Miami Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez. Florida Fish and Wildlife says the pitcher was drunk and speeding when he drove a boat into a jetty last September, killing himself and two friends. Toxicology tests show that alcohol and cocaine was in his system. They said the boat was traveling more than 65 miles an hour when it struck the rocks. Political news now. President Trump says he is not done fighting that travel ban, even as a federal judge blocked it just hours before it was set to take effect. ABC's Maggie Rulli has more on that and the president's accusations of wiretapping in Trump Tower.
It's deja vu for President Trump.
A judge has just blocked our executive order on travel.
His newly revised travel ban blocked again, and again he vows to fight it.
As far as it needs to go, including all the way up to the Supreme Court.
This time, the nationwide temporary restraining order put in place by a judge in Hawaii. And now, a narrower order coming out of Maryland just before the ban was set to take effect. Opponents argue the new ban, just like the original one, discriminates on the basis of nationality and religion. But President Trump calls the ruling judicial overreach, and the Justice Department saying the ruling is flawed, insisting the travel ban falls squarely within the president's lawful authority to protect our nation's security.
The order he blocked was a watered-down version of the first order.
ABC's chief legal analyst Dan Abrams says that watered-down argument could hurt the administration in courts.
He's effectively saying, yeah, the same purpose behind the first one exists.
And another issue that persists, those tweets from the president claiming that former President Obama wiretapped Trump Tower.
I mean, let's see whether or not I prove it.
Trump on Fox News sharing for the first time in detail where he got this information.
I've been reading about things. I said, wait a minute, there's a lot of wiretapping being talked about. I've been seeing a lot of things.
But in terms of actual evidence, the Republican chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Devin Nunes, says he's seen nothing.
Are you going to take the tweets literally? And if you are, then clearly the president was wrong.
And now pressure on FBI Director James Comey to come out with exactly what he knows is building. He'll be appearing before Congress next week. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
The president released his first budget blueprint called the America First Outline. It includes significant spending cuts to the State Department, labor, EPA, and housing programs. There's also a $1.5 billion set aside for the proposed U.S.-Mexico border wall. Medicare and Social Security are untouched, and the military is greatly increased. A full budget will be released in May. Well, that winter storm up north has killed a young boy near Buffalo. A 10-year-old who was digging a tunnel in the snow became trapped when it collapsed on top of him. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Part of that area received more than 2 feet of snow. His death is believed to be an accident, but the investigation is ongoing. A much lighter note now, the storm is also bringing in new life. A baby zebra born at a Central New York wild animal park this week. The staff gave him a fitting name, Blizzard. He was born about 6 o'clock Tuesday morning. Staff says he's very curious, bold, and has a great personality, much like John Scalzi. Blizzard is the 3rd zebra born at the animal park and 2nd born since late December. Is he white with black stripes or black with white stripes there, John?
There you go, or red all over. You know, I'm really amazed at how beautiful that young little zebra is there, but I'm even more amazed that it's already about half the size of the mother.
That's true.
Wow.
Since Tuesday.
Yeah, that's impressive. Some very nice weather shaping up for us today. A little on the cold side, yes, that's true, and a little on the breezy side as well. But boy, you just take a look at the skies. Sunrise over Lakewood Ranch this morning was beautiful, and the deep blue skies, absolutely gorgeous. Now, if you're a stargazer, tonight will be a beautiful night to look up at the heavens, because there will hardly be any impediment. And it might be one of the last few days that we get like this. Breezy a little bit for the next hour or two, and then I think things will settle down just a little bit, and then the winds will pick up briefly again later on this evening as we head into a nighttime low that'll be warmer than it was this morning. The temperature should fall off pretty quickly because the air is just so bone dry. We'll talk about the warm-up that'll take place as early as tomorrow, coming up in just a few. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. New at noon, a high school student in Paris is arrested after a shooting in a school. It happened this morning. According to French police, the 16-year-old suspect was armed with a rifle, a handgun, a revolver, and 2 grenades. He entered the high school around lunchtime and opened fire at the head teacher. And all 3 were injured, including the principal. Officials say school shootings are very rare in France, but the French president says the shooter has no terrorist ties. Also new in France, a letter bomb explosion injured 1 person in Paris. It happened at the French office of the International Monetary Fund. No other damage or injuries reported. Officers are not sure who sent the letter. France remains in a state of emergency after a string of deadly Islamic extremist attacks over the past 2 years. A bill authorizing Britain to start its exit from the European Union is given the royal consent now by Queen Elizabeth. This means the bill is now law. It also means that the Prime Minister, Theresa May, is now free to invoke a provision of the EU's key treaty, triggering 2 years of exit negotiations. Now, royal consent of a bill is a formality, but no monarch has refused to sign a bill for more than 300 years. In consumer news, a recall is underway for Hyundai. The automaker is recalling nearly 1 million cars due to front seat belts that could detach in a crash. The recall covers Sonata midsize sedans from 2011 to 2014 and the Sonata Hybrid from 2011 to 2015. So far, only 1 minor injury has been caused by the problem. Owners will be notified by April. As expected, the Federal Reserve has raised interest rates again, but how will that affect you directly? Mary Maloney has an explanation.
Higher rates have come back to America. Of course, one rate hike won't change the world, but if you have a credit card, savings account, if you invest in stocks or bonds, or want to buy a house or a car, you should probably pay attention. Hate to say it, your credit cards will get more expensive. Credit card companies typically mirror the Fed, so chances are the interest rate you pay could rise soon. If you can, pay off your balances fast, or transfer your balance to a zero-interest card to give you a little bit more time. Car loan companies tend to do the same thing as credit card companies. Expect to see similar increases on that car loan rate. Likewise, if you're shopping for a new mortgage, even though the Fed doesn't directly set mortgage rates, don't expect to see your savings account fatten. To start seeing more interest on your money, the Fed will have to raise rates higher, which it may do at least 2 more times this year. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Second time is a charm for SpaceX. They launched a communications satellite into orbit this morning from the Kennedy Space Center about 2 a.m. It was originally set for Tuesday, but as you recall, high winds were a problem that derailed the Falcon 9 rocket. Because this mission is lifting a heavy satellite more than 22,000 miles over the equator, SpaceX says it will not try to land the first stage of the rocket due to mission requirements. SpaceX launched the rocket from the same pad used for the Apollo 11 program. When we come back, John has the forecast one more time for us. And a group of kids looking forward to more than rides and funnel cakes at the county fair. Details in this week's Spotlight.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
In town? On the town, The Mark offers landmark living in the center of everything you love about Sarasota. Priced from the 700s, spacious residences and elevated club-level amenities create a private oasis in the sky. Promenade shopping and dining put the best of downtown downstairs. Sales gallery open daily at the corner of Pineapple and State Street just south of Maine. The Mark, Sarasota. Presented by Coulter.
Hurry in to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings on some of America's best vehicles. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can buy one for just $24,999 or save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab during Ram Truck Month. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, ANDservices.com.
Looking at an air temperature that's continuing to rise under the influence of all that sunshine that's out there. 54 degrees the air temperature, but the dew point is so dry. And if you're heating your air right now, if you're inside and you're heating your air, say another 10, 15 degrees, that dew point value at 17 is going to make the air inside your home feel like a desert. It's going to be so dry. And I guarantee you, if you are sensitive to such things, you're going to have probably some sinus irritation a little bit maybe, and you might have some chapped lips or such. And if you're sensitive to that sort of thing, to that really dry, heated air, then today's not your day. Good news is, we'll start to moisten that air as early as tomorrow. So we'll start to get the moisture back into the air. And by the weekend, we'll be good as gold. Just hang in there. North-northeast wind comes in at about 10. Still a little breezy out there. Dry. Looking for a temperature that comes up near the probably 62, 63 degree mark over most locations. Right now, we're in the 50s everywhere. 55 degrees, 56 degrees, pretty popular. Winds are up enough that things are stirred up. You're looking for some good news. Here it is for you. Latest Mote Marine observations indicate that as of today, and these are all current observations, every beach has no red tide irritant in the air. That's current observation. We love to see that. Winds continue out of the northeast throughout the day today, maybe shifting a little bit more to the east as we head into the next several days. Winds are up. The wave action is a little bit up out there, so expect choppy conditions out there on bay and inland waters, moderate chop. And as we look at the amount of sunshine that the peninsula gets today, it's pretty much wall-to-wall, horizon-to-horizon sunshine. Not much in the way of cloud cover. Back to the west, there is a developing low-pressure area that could create a little bit of delay at the airports in and around Chicago, Detroit, in through Cincinnati over the next 24 hours or so, and then eventually upstate New York as we head into the weekend. High pressure, the dominant weather feature us, doesn't really get bothered whatsoever by this little low pressure area providing this quick little blast of snowfall to the Ohio Valley, upstate New York, and even western parts of the Great Lakes. It moves out into the Atlantic. Doing so switches our winds from a northeast direction to a more east direction. That brings back a little bit more moisture, keeps our nighttime temperatures warmer, keeps our daytime high temperatures a little bit more comfortable. And as we head into the weekend, it looks beautiful as that warming trend will continue and the cooler air mass that sits over us right now modifies. Watch the RPM computer model, put it into motion. You get the sense of those clouds beginning to shift direction in this computer model, that due to that moving high pressure ridge and the switch in wind directions. We don't really get any rainfall out of it, but we will get a little extra cloud cover maybe by Saturday or so. Tomorrow looks beautiful in the evening. If you're going to be out of doors, temperatures will be about 10 degrees warmer than they will be this evening, and the wind speed's a lot lighter. And for the first day of spring, which comes Monday early in the morning, just after the 6 o'clock hour, things look great. Daytime high of about 78. Right?
Very nice. Talk to you soon, John. Tomorrow is opening day for the Sarasota County Fair. Should be nice weather for it. For some, that means the rides. For others, the food. And for some students, it's the animals. Here's Linda Carson's Spotlight.
The 4-H'ers and their llamas are preparing for their appearance at the fair on Sunday. The competition will be fierce.
There's like multiple classes that we're gonna show in. Like there's showmanship, where it's like all about how we take care of our llamas. There's halter, which is like all about our llamas and how they perform. There's obstacles, which is like we have to go through an obstacle course.
Judges will watch their every move.
They judge showmanship, which is judged on the youth and how well they show their animal. They have to square them up. They have to keep them calm. They have to show the best of the llama to the judge. She wants to see that they're proud of their llama, they've groomed them well, and they know how to handle them.
It's a little scary.
I'm most worried about the backup, so we have to go in a little pen, back our llamas out, or back our llamas in and then come out. So yeah, she doesn't really like to back out or back in.
But these llamas are really smart.
Probably a lot smarter than we are because they can understand what we're saying. They know what we want them to do if they see it. They're just kind of like humans with their brain capacity. They remember everything.
Ryan Swartz and his llama won the Showmanship Award last year. The kids spend a lot of time with the llamas.
Sundays we come out and work with all the llamas and train them and brush them and walk them.
And take them on outings.
We take her to nursing homes and sometimes out to parks. Like we went to the celery fields and the Fruitville Library.
Ashley Hebron and her llama have a close bond.
She'll follow me wherever I go. She'll do mostly what I ask, and we just love each other.
She says training a llama has taught her a lot.
When I first got her, she didn't want to do anything, so just working with her a lot just made me learn patience with her. They're just like big dogs, and they're very unique and special in their own way, and they have a lot of character and personality.
Kiss? Both of these llamas have been named Pet Hero of the Year in various years for their work with seniors and people with disabilities. They are role models for all of the other llamas here. Right, guys? Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Great ending there. Happening later on today, talk show host Jerry Springer will be talking politics in downtown Sarasota. He'll host a public discussion at Bookstore One on Palm Avenue. Springer, of course, is the former Democratic mayor of Cincinnati. It starts at 6 p.m. Call ahead to reserve a seat. It's a busy place this week. Yesterday, author Stephen King signed books there as well. Speaking of books, President Trump's first wife has written a book. We'll have details up next. And picking prom dates the old-fashioned way. You won't want to miss that story coming up next.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5.
I won cash for life from the Florida Lottery! So I get $1,000 a day every day for the rest of my life. Day 1, bought a pony. We're best buds. Day 7, this is crazy! Another day, another grand. This one's on me. Then Mom said, better save some. And another grand, share the love. I don't even play this thing, but I got a bunch. And another grand, and another grand, another grand, another grand. Let's do it again tomorrow.
With a prize of $1,000 a day for life, the new Cash for Life draw game is your ticket to a grand day every day.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
My yard, it's overgrown, it's out of control, it's a huge problem.
I showed Randy our entire line of outdoor power equipment. We have everything he needs.
Ace is the place that lets you clear land like a modern-day pioneer. Yeah!
Right now, buy 2 get 1 free on all gallons of interior and exterior paint. March 8th to 20th only. 6 convenient Sarasota locations and now open in Bradenton, Northport, and soon Osprey.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Car experts and customers agree there's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Attention blood clot filter patients. Surgically implanted blood clot filters are potentially life-threatening. Some filters are prone to breaking, resulting in pieces of the filter moving through the body and causing internal bleeding. If you had surgery to implant a blood clot filter, you may be entitled to a cash award, even if you haven't suffered side effects yet. Call the Gold Shield Group now, 888-747-5291, to see if you qualify for a cash award, 888-747-5291.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
One of President Trump's ex-wives has a book coming out. Ivana Trump wrote Raising Trump. It talks about her experience raising Ivanka, Eric, and Donald Jr. It'll also discuss Ivana's childhood growing up in Czechoslovakia, her marriage to the president, and her business successes. The book will come out in September. Demi Lovato celebrating 5 years of being drug and alcohol free. The 24-year-old posted this Instagram saying, "It's been quite the journey. So many times I wanted to relapse but sat on my hands and begged God to relieve the obsession." Back in 2010, the singer left a tour with the Jonas Brothers and entered rehab for an eating disorder and self-mutilation as well. She's also confessed to using drugs and alcohol and also bipolar disorder. Since then, Lovato, though, has been active for mental health awareness. Angelina Jolie is taking a break from the film industry to work as a professor. She'll teach a master's course at the prestigious London School of Economics. It's part of a master's program on women, peace, and security. Jolie's humanitarian efforts are well known. She serves as a special envoy of the UN High Commissioner for Refugees. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says he's not afraid of heights. Good thing. The action star is prepping to star in Skyscraper. He'll play a disabled war veteran trying to save his family from a burning building. Johnson says his character is inspired by the thousands of disabled vets he's met along the way. Shooting starts this August in China.
Sweet and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined.
Late night premieres begin tonight for Beauty and the Beast. The live-action take on the Oscar-winning animated film is expected to bring in big bucks at the box office. Musical theater veterans say it was a special joy to work on this project.
I mean, it was definitely a yay for me because I was completely obsessed with the original when I was growing up.
We were 10 and 12 when this movie came out. We saw it in the theater. We were the generation that was inspired by this.
The film stars Emma Watson as the Beauty and Dan Stevens as the Beast. Tonight's showing starts as early as 7 o'clock. And finally, students at an Illinois high school are picking up their prom dates with a decades-old tradition. Here's how it works. The boys draw the names of girls at random in the library, while the girls wait for them in the gymnasium. Then the boys come out and perform a skit before they reveal who their date is. The kids say it's less of a date, more of a fun thing to do with your classmates. This dates back to 1926 to make sure all the students have a date to the prom. So hopefully there's no hurt feelings and no trades afterwards.
I like that idea.
Good idea. You recall your prom, don't you?
I do indeed.
Yeah?
Yes, indeed, I do. It was a very lovely, wonderful event. And that sounds like a great way to handle that kind of pressure that goes on in high school with the prom for a lot of folks.
That can be a very stressful time.
It can be.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you like that?
Great idea.
Good to see.
Kind of a chilly day today, no doubt about that. We'll top it out today in the low to mid 60s. Tomorrow, though, will be about 10 degrees warmer, and we'll continue that warming trend right into the weekend. Nighttime lows will also start to bump up a little bit, so all good.
Good trend, all right. Haley's here at 5. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning on Good Morning Suncoast.